Ultimately, why do I listen to noises and sounds more often than I listen to actual music? It's because it's easier for me to brainstorm stories listening to things without people trying to determine what they're putting in your head. So, a lot of my favorite songs that have actual people singing with like words, they're words that make no sense. Words that are like blurred. They leave room for interpretation. They might barely say a word and it kind of sounds like another word, and then the rest just sounds like mixed mumbles and kind of like at an opera. So it leaves room for interpretation for me to twist it however way I want to. Versus if someone's like, I jumped up, I felt good, I went through, I always stood, like, then it's kind of like, all right, you're determining in my head, jump up, feel good, this stood. And maybe if I'm trying to motivate myself, that might be nice. And maybe if I'm in that deep, deep concentration, which I can be, where it's not even the music I'm listening to. I'm still brainstorming, but it's all just playing through my head and I'm not acknowledging what's playing, or I'm only hearing the sounds but not the words because of how in deep of a trance I am. Often it yanks me from the scenes that I want to be in, and so I prefer listening to noises, sounds, and music with undetermined language so I can just allow my brain to do what it wants. And maybe in terms of like a spiritual sense, it's also healthier to not be flooding my brain with a bunch of negativity, because a lot of these songs they be like talking crap on people or saying like F that person and oh yeah, I had three baby mamas, or like maybe it's wrong for me to use that as my example, but a lot of these songs come from people who they themselves haven't figured themselves out. And so it's like, I'm not going to go to Hitler for a speech on justice and how we should be living a fair life. That just would be contradictory to my mind and my belief. And there's a lot of singers out there who have this belief, and when they sing and they represent their belief, they're really just flooding the world with toxic realities that aren't true in the first place. And then that can sink into you, into your ambitions and your way of thinking, and to the point where you start altering your way from the actual truth which scripture teaches. And then again, there's some songs that are just really damn good, and even if they're not leaning towards the right direction, I'm like, that's just a really good song, and I can respect that. But yeah, I just have to be careful. Same with watching scary movies, what energies leak through me.